Well, welcome back. It's been
Hello.
a while.
We are sorry. It has been a bit of a long time.
We had to take a little break, guys, because everyone was in lockdown and everyone was doing exactly the same thing, which was nothing. And it was just like very demanding to like try and figure of what stuff we could make. And I don't know, it's a
I
mad
think we
one.
just felt under pressure rather than demanded. I think the word is like there was a lot of pressure to try and find something to make a video on every single day without repeating ourselves. And it was kind of consuming our whole day, and although it gave us something to focus on that we really enjoyed, it got to the point where we were getting like, I suppose, anxious about what we're going to actually talk about tomorrow, because there was nothing new to discuss.
So we just thought we would have a break, a couple of weeks out, I think. Has it been a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that.
Sounds
And
longer.
I suppose we all just done exactly the same thing, which was nothing. We just didn't really do anything. I suppose I would say enjoyed the time off, but not really. But since now, like, the world's starting to open up again slowly, we thought now would be a good time to come back and say hello to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done much other than look for work. So I think like the last time we were online, I told you that obviously I'd found work, and now Chris has found some work, and we've kind of got, you know, little things to look forward to again. And other than that, though, there's not been kind of any new positive progression in anything that's going on. If anything, it's been either the same or negative.
But what that does
in the
mean,
news.
though, is that because like every country now is starting to like go back to some form of normality, that means that you guys will probably not be in lockdown anymore, and you'll probably be like an eased restriction sort of
Like
thing.
general community quarantine rather
Yeah.
than enhanced community quarantine.
I mean, the same thing's happening here in England, so there's no actual lockdown, but people are still advised to stay at home unless of any like specific circumstances. So I suppose it'll probably be the same for everywhere around the world at the minute. But since I did find some work starting last week, that means that every day now will be a day closer to coming back as soon as all the flights and stuff come back to normal and stuff like that. Because obviously we've still got a lot of unfinished business in Iloilo, like as regards to the house and stuff.
House stuff, yeah.
So now we can finally start putting some money back to be able to come back over. I hope, and hopefully it'll be this year. Hopefully towards the end of the year. So
We just want our keys, don't we? It's
Yeah.
all we want.
So-
We just want our keys.
the plan, it's like a light plan, because obviously
It's an idea.
it's an idea, right? Exactly, perfect. It's an idea because you don't know what's going to happen from like the whole coronavirus stuff, right? So the plan, the idea is between now, which is like mid-June, to October, September, October time, something like that. The plan is to work, save as much money as we can, with a view to hopefully coming over between the end of September, beginning of October time, to get all the house stuff sorted out in Iloilo City. So we've got what? So June, July, August, September, October. That's 4.5 months, which isn't a lot. So potentially we could be back fairly soon, providing all the flights, and cause obviously there's a lot of news going around with like, if we do go back, we'll have to.
Yeah, I've read there's been quite a few people who've still been like dropping information and stuff under some of the videos. So I've read that so we know someone who wants to go over to the Philippines as soon as possible. So it's been a discussion that we've been having with him. And basically, from what I've read, when you arrive into Manila, you will have to do a 3 or 4 days quarantine, lock into your room kind of quarantine, and then do a coronavirus test. If the test comes back positive, then obviously you will be instructed to stay in quarantine until you're better. And if it comes back negative, then you're free to go to the area that you were going to travel to with your certificate to say that you were negative for the virus. However, those 3 or 4 days, you have to pay for the hotel and you have to pay for the virus test yourself upon arrival. However, I've also read that there are no entry visas into the country still, that they still haven't been put back into place. So obviously that means that no tourists can fly into the country, only people who live, work, reside in the country are able to fly back. So we're not entirely sure on what the circumstances are about coming in and when they're going to be lifted, them restrictions, and when you're going to be able to, you know, come into the country freely. Obviously, we would do what we needed to do before we came back anyway, if that meant that we needed to get a test before we flew. So obviously, while everything's mad, we're not looking to come, so we don't want everyone to think, oh my God, don't come from England with all the virus that's happening in England and bring it to us. We're not going to do that. We're looking at, hopefully, whenever it calms down, then we'd start looking. So that's why we said it was an idea.
I mean, you can tell we've been pretty good with the lockdown. I mean, look at the state of me. Look at this. Look at all this. Like, we've been really good. We've been... Let me just pull out my beard.
I actually pulled a hair out.
Wow. So we've been really good, like the same as we was in Iloilo. We don't go out, we don't do anything. We go out to go and get food, like food shopping and stuff like that. But other than that, we don't do anything. We don't go out anywhere. So we've literally been in exactly the same as you guys for the last, well, since March. I think we got
since the start of March.
Start of March.
April, May, June. So literally about 3 months and a bit. We've done nothing.
So, you know, I went to work on Friday, guys. Oh my God, my legs ache. I ache so bad because I haven't done anything for months. Oh my jeez.
Ozzy's gone on about is this what it feels like to be old? Oh my God, I don't want to get old.
So yeah, so that is what we've been doing. A whole load of nothing with you guys. And that is our view, a goal that we're working towards. Because obviously we want to move in and stuff like that and get settled, ready for the next big trip.
Obviously it is like even if everything goes back to normal, whatever normal will be, we do have to take into consideration like finances, because we spent all of our money trying to get back. Remember, we had 5 flights cancel on us, and then we came back and it cost us thousands to come back to England. So we lost all our money. So it's not just dependent on whether the virus just kind of miraculously disappears. It's about finances and making sure that we're in kind of, you know, a consistent work with getting an income, and you know, there's a lot of aspects. And so I think that with everything that's going on in the world, it's all been so negative for the last few months that we have spoken between the two of us and realised that if you carry on just focusing on what's going on, it's going to keep you down. And so we needed something to focus on that was a goal that we can work towards, and by giving ourselves something to work towards, then it's kind of like brought our mood up and gave us something to look forward to and work on. So even if it's not October and it's November or December or January, then whenever it is, whatever will be. But for us to have a goal to work towards, it just kind of
makes life a bit easier, a bit more manageable, because you know that
you've
got something good to look forward to, right? So yeah, like other than that, I know I've still got a top 5 video to make. Don't worry, guys, I will get onto that.
And if you haven't seen mine, don't worry about it. It was just posted a couple of weeks ago, so you can have a look. So
I will try and get that up for next weekend, because it's going to be probably next weekend will be most likely, because then I'll get a little bit of time to start it. So what I wanted to know from you guys was, what do you want us to start posting again? So obviously the whole coronavirus thing is starting to slowly get quieter and quieter. Like, there's not so much news about it now. It's just kind of, people know kind of most things about it, and the only kind of thing you'll really see in the news these days is like how many people have been infected and how many people have died. So
it's not a common conversation within the households here anymore. Obviously it is, as in it's still spoken about on a weekly basis because the Prime Minister obviously does updates, and I think the only people now that this is like directly affecting are the people who are high risk, who can't leave the house, such as my mum. So I haven't seen my mum since February, which is I've found very difficult. So there are families that have that situation, but for anyone else who don't have high risk around them, it seems that it's kind of gone back to like a normal way of life. So people are going back to work, people are doing their own shopping. We're allowed to have like a social bubble, which means that if you're from a house that has no high risk people in it, then you can have a group of 6 people that meet together socially and you can be around each other. But what that means is you're not supposed to then be around anyone else from other households because you've chosen your bubble of 6. And I'll be honest, it's the UK, so it's probably not going to be legit. But that is kind of like our general thing at the moment. So people are starting to socialise again, and so it's not like a massive...
It's just like losing a bit of interest, I guess. Like just general, people don't really talk about it so much. But what I wanted to know from you guys is, going forward with the next like vlogs and stuff like that, we've got 2 options. One option is we get back to posting all our travel content that we was doing when we was in the Philippines in February. I think we've got around maybe 25 to 30 more vlogs, something like that. Or
do you want like general update videos of us kind of like trying some of the food still, because we did get the right pastry to make some lumpia. And just general like update videos on what's going on until the coronavirus lockdown restrictions are completely gone. So update videos and day-to-day kind of chats, or do you want the travel videos back?
Because there's still quite a lot. There's some really good ones as well. So it just depends on what you guys really want to see from us, I suppose.
The travel videos will go up anyway, but it's how soon do we bring them back? We're not really sure.
So we'd like your bit of input on that, really, to see what the crack is with that. Yeah, we've not really had any information yet on if the house in Iloilo's finished, because
we know nothing.
We haven't really spoke to anybody about that yet, so I'm not sure if people are working on that or not. So yeah, that was kind of just the what we wanted to speak to you guys about. Actually, was just how's everyone doing.
Making sure you're all right.
Starting to get like you can go out and stuff like that. So tell us what it's like in your areas.
What are the rules?
Yeah, we want to know, like...
Do you have a social bubble?
Because obviously some areas in the Philippines will be more... restricted than others. So I think Cebu's still quite locked down. But I know like places like Iloilo, I think you can get the boats
I actually read that Boracay was opening to local tourists only, so people from Western Visayas, because the cases have been so minimal that they're looking to kind of open Boracay again. But
that's good.
Again, I don't know where the source was. I can't remember. It was something that I read briefly where I was busy. So, you know, like in your area, what's it like? How restricted are you? Are you fed up of it? Are you still concerned? How are you coping? You know, let us know, because I think it's interesting for us to also be aware of how it is for other people compared to how our situation is here.
I mean, like, even when I had a little look online, I didn't really see like a great deal of info of like what
news.
Yeah, like of what the restrictions are in certain parts. So it'd be nice for you guys just to let us know what's going on and like what areas are still struggling with the virus and what ones are doing pretty well and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool. But that was it, guys. Just letting you know that we're back in the game. I need to get a haircut because Cody's not really... She's been neglecting me over this whole lockdown. Come here,
I can start pulling them out like I did just then.
It is pretty bad, guys, I must say. But yeah, so I hope you're all well anyway, and we will speak to you again soon.
See you soon. Paalam.
Paalam.